Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I want to talk to you about gay love and gay marriage. It has been the talk of the nation for quite some time in the public arena, in the political arena, in the churches, in the homes. So I thought, as spokesman and advocate of basic human rights, I should put a little touch of my flavor to it. How many of you men that are straight fantasize kissing on another man? Oh, before I go that far, this is a mature family conversation. I want all children out of the room. And I want this blocked from kids. This is a mature conversation for mature adults. Now, how many of you men out there fantasize kissing on other men? How many of you straight men fantasize kissing on other men? I would bank to say that very few of you feel like doing that. How many of you straight women fantasize and kissing on other women? Some of you do, I'm sure, but most of you don't. But gay people do. Why do they? They are people just like you. They require the same things for survival, just like you. Why do gay men desire and lust for other men? Why do gay women desire and lust for other women? Why do you, a straight man, desire and lust for a straight woman? Why do you do that? Is it a part of your DNA? Is it the way you were made? And you just can't help yourself? You lust after women if you're a man, and men if you're a woman. And that's fine with you, isn't it? But now let another man lust after another man, and a woman lust after another woman, and that's a little abnormal. And we don't know really if it's abnormal, but it's different than what you do. But let me see, you do the things that you do because that's the way you were made. That's the way you have been told is legitimate. But now others who do things different, they are said to do them by choice. Just want to violate the norm. Do them by choice. Even though they know it's wrong. That's about as crazy as I ever heard anything. You can't find any justification for it, can you? Let me suggest one to you. They could do this because they were made that way. When you say, no, God made men and women to repopulate the earth. Yes, and I agree with you on that. But what if God was tired of repopulating the earth? What if he was wanting to decide, what if he decided that you, the people, and this repopulation isn't doing anything to make you a better person, or to make this nation a better person, or to make this world a better person? Yet, he allows you to have that lust, that sexual desire for one another. And so perhaps, I'm not saying he is, but it's a thought. Perhaps he's making men and women to have lust after each other for one reason. And what is that reason? To population control. To cut down on a continuous building population that does nothing for the good of humanity. I mean, that's just a good enough idea as any other that you have proposed. Look at it like this. The other day, I was watching the news in St. Paul, Minnesota, where a whole bunch of God-fearing people, preachers, elders, bishops, priests, had all come together. They were standing up against this potential law that says people who love each other, male or female, if they want to be together, they could do it. That's at least a law that they're trying to get passed. And so many of you, especially you God-fearing people, are just upset with it. I heard one preacher say something, and he looked like he was so angry he's ready to jump up and fight somebody. But you know, I can't understand why you can stand out publicly and denounce that. And yet we live in a nation where millions of people have had their homes stolen from them. Not taken, not just foreclosed, but stolen from them by the system. Many poor people who could have had jobs have lost those jobs and are denied the possibility of having those jobs by people who took those jobs and sent them overseas so they can pay cheap labor and get more in their coffers, causing the people in this country to suffer. How many of you preachers, bishops and elders and God-fearing people standing up for that? I don't see you out protesting that. Why? Why don't you protest that? Why don't you stand up when you hear Israel coming to the United States talking about we need your support because we want to attack Iran. We don't want to give them a chance to nuclearize themselves because they will use it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what was said about the United States, Germany, Israel. Every person, every nation that owns a nuclear weapon received the same condemnation. They would use it. Now, tell me this. How do you satisfy your mind when you hear Israel say, we need to attack them first because they will do it to us? How do you feel when you hear them say that? When this is the same thing that the Arab nations said about the West. This is the same thing they said about Israel. They would attack us first. They would attack us without provocation. You say you're being provoked because you think what they will do. You don't know what they will do. But you want to change your action to fit that which you condemn. You say they will attack you. But now, you don't want to give them a chance. You want to attack them first. And then convince everybody that you were justified. This is one calling a monkey the devil, and then act like a monkey, act like a devil, and then justify it. Let me say something. I've been talking to you for 40 years. And the reason I've been talking to you for 40 years is because I had no love to do anything else. I wanted to see a change in this country. But I'm an old man now. And every day I feel like it's my last day. When I go to bed at night, I kind of feel a little relaxed, especially when I go to sleep. And hoping that if it's my last day, let it be while I'm asleep. And why do I feel this way? Because I feel like I'm living in a world, in the United States, with a bunch of vipers, a bunch of snakes, a bunch of low-down, dirty dogs, a bunch of, let me find another word that you really understand. Living amongst a bunch of low-down, dirty motherfuckers. That's what the American people are when I see them doing the things they do. And when I stand up and tell you that none of this stuff is necessary, when I stand up and tell you that you have been deceived and you look at me like I need to be locked up somewhere in Whitfield in a Looney Tune, and you walking around buying into this crap. Mitt Romney stood up the other day and told you that you weren't shit. And you still not protesting. And if you are, you're sitting back in your little four-wall room, talking about it and not doing a damn thing. Let me tell you. Newspapers, television, radio. You are an insult to humanity. Oh, I realize why you did it. You did it because money talks and bullshit walks. And if ain't nobody got no money, I don't care how much talking they doing, to you is nothing but bullshit because you don't give a damn about it. So you done bought into that crap. And you know why you bought into that crap? Because you've been lied to and you don't know God. All those people out there at that Capitol, all those church people, ministers, bishops, popes. There wasn't no pope, I don't think, was out there, but priests. And all you right-wing, God-fearing people, you don't know God. You might know scripture, but you don't know God. And those scriptures are words that came out of another person's mouth. Just like I'm speaking to you now. They are scriptures, they are words that came out of another person's mouth. And you walking around here saying it's God speaking. That God is the author of slavery because it was in the Bible. That God is the author of brutality because it was in the Bible. Let me tell you something. Every ugly thing that's in that Bible has nothing to do with God. It's the fruit of a seed that was planted by mankind. And all this ugliness that you have, it's the fruit of the seeds that you have planted. Gay people, don't worry about straight people. If what you have been caught up in is really real, you can't help it, don't worry about it. Fuck these ignorant motherfuckers. Ignore their asses. I know you don't want to embrace my conversation, especially since I'm using this kind of language. But I'm using this kind of language because I don't give a shit about what these low-down, dirty motherfuckers think about me saying this. One thing about it is all true. Is all true. They took these jobs from people and sent them overseas. What did they set up? They set up an environment for crime and violence. And then they pass laws that say it's a crime. Then they put people in jail and punish them for shit that they created. And you, with your God-fearing smart asses, sit up and go along and support it. Look, I'm going to stop right there because I can't think of nothing nice to say about you.